Welcome everyone. My name is Sandeep, and today I'm going to start a series of videos on the UPSC Mains GS1 paper, that is the Indian society. Okay, and we will try to complete the whole syllabus of Indian society in a comprehensive and detailed manner. Okay, so the if you go through the UPSC main syllabus, the first topic from the Indian society is the salient features of Indian society. Okay, so that is the first topic. So we will first try to, in our first chapter, we will try to learn what is society, the basic concept. Okay, so what is society? So, society is an organized and self sustaining human community where people live together in a shared territory, interact regularly, follow a common set of rules, share a common culture, and depend on one another for survival and development. See, when we say society, society is actually a group of people living in a shared territory, okay, interacting regularly, following a common set of rules, sharing a common culture, and depend on each other for day to day work. That is the society. Society is not just a mere group of individuals, it is a group of people, group of individuals living in a shared territory. That means we have a common territory where we live, we interact with each others, and we follow a common set of rules, common culture, and we depend on each other for survival and for our day to day work. Okay, that is the society. When we say Indian society, for example, and American society, so Indian society, why we are the saying that Indian society, because we have a common set of rules, common set of culture. Okay, we interact with each other regularly on a regular basis. We have a shared territory. Okay, we have a definite boundary among that in that we are living. So that is makes a society. Now, so society is more than just a collection of people living in the same geographical area, because it is based on organized social relationship. So society is not just a collection of people living in a same geographical area, but it is based on organized social relationship. Okay, social relationship means what? That means we have a common sense of brotherhood, common culture, common set of rules. Okay, that is the relationship that binds or that makes a society. Okay, now, for example, now the question arises, for example, in a society where peoples are living, having a common set of goals, common set of rules, following following common set of rules, common set of principles. So is there any scope of differences among its members? Yes. For example, in our Indian society, we are living in a harmony, but we have differences in terms of what? Skills, in terms of occupation, in terms of gender, in terms of talent. So society is characterized by both similarities and differences among its members. Okay, now similarity in terms of what? Similarities in terms of language, food habits, religious beliefs, customs, traditions, and values. And that similarity creates a social agreement, harmony, and a sense of belonging we feeling. Okay, that similarities makes us united. Okay, that promotes a sense of brotherhood, a feeling of belongingness. Okay, and the differences in terms of skill, occupation, gender, talents promote cooperation, complementarity, and division of labor, making society function efficiently. So differences is not bad. It should be there. For example, I have a talent. For example, I'm a teacher. I have a I have a talent to teach, and you suppose you are a doctor. So by profession, so we both have a different talent, different skills. Okay, when I need to go to the hospital, I will go to you, and when you want to teach your child, then you will send to me. So that differences makes, or that differences promotes what? Cooperation. We cooperate with each other. If, for example, if in a society there are only doctors are there, there is no differences in occupation, that society will survive? No, no, not at all. So differences are good. Differences should be there. So differences in skills, occupation, gender, talents promote what? Cooperation. And that makes society function efficiently. So if I summarize, society is what? Society is a group of people living together in a shared territory, interact regularly, follow a common set of rules, share a common culture, and depend on one another for survival and development. And society is characterized by both similarities and differences among its members, and that makes society function efficiently. Okay? Now, now, next we will see the fundamental human needs served by society. See, apart from the basic needs, that is the food, shelter, okay, there are some fundamental human needs. For example, the first thing is that security, sense of security. Have you ever wondered why we are overthinking? Because of insecurity. The feeling of insecurity makes us to think, overthink. For example, we think that what will happen tomorrow? How will I survive if I do not get job? How will I face my society, my families if I do not got any employment? How will I raise my children? So that type of thinking is it comes why? Because of insecurity, the feeling of insecurity. So the first fundamental human needs is what? Sense of security and order, and that provides by society. Society provides security and order by establishing what? Laws, rules, and institutions that enable people to live peacefully without chaos. Whatever the laws, rules are framed, who makes these laws? The society only. So society makes the laws, rules, regulations, and that enable people to survive or live peacefully without any chaos. So if there is no society, there will be chaos. If there is no law and order, there will be chaos. So that most important thing, and there will be no security and order. So the most important, the fundamental human needs, that is security and order, is fulfilled by what? Fulfilled by society, by establishing laws, rules, and institutions. Okay. The next, the fundamental human need is socialization. See, India India has a history of long history of 5,000 years, and we have a continuous. We are following continuous a long followed customs and traditions. How this custom traditions cultures survive till date because of socialization. Our future our forefathers have transmitted their culture, values, traditions from one generation to another generation, and that makes society or their customs cultures alive till date. So that is done by socialization, and that is done by whom? Society perform the function of socialization by transmitting culture, values, traditions, and responsibility from one generation to another. And see, this socialization makes the difference between human and animal. We know how to behave with others, how to respect the elders, how to love our youngers. So that socialization is the sole thing that difference makes difference among us and the animal, and that socialization is done by the society. So the fundamental human need, the second fundamental human need, that is socialization, is served by society. Okay. Now the third thing, most important thing, that is the sense of purpose and meaning. Okay, what is the purpose of my life? What is the meaning of my life? That is also provided by society. For example, why I'm why you people are preparing for UPSC? To serve the public, to serve the society only, to serve the poor people of the society. So why? Because you had whatever you are due to your society. Because society give you name, give you fame, give you education, give you culture, give you uh, way of thinking. So that's why you want to pay them back. So that purpose and meaning of your life, to become a future bureaucrat and serve the public, that purpose is also provided by society only. Society provides purpose and meaning by giving what? Individuals a shared identity, collective memory, and a sense of belonging. Okay, that these people are my people, so I should serve them. Okay, sense of belonging. Okay. Now now my next question will be from you people, that is society dynamic or static? It is dynamic. It is continuously evolving. It is continuously changing. And what are the factors? Factors are globalization. Factors are urbanization, migration, technology. For example, globalization. See, today in ancient history, ancient India, people are wearing what? People were wearing kurta and dhoti, but now people are wearing what? Jeans, the western dresses. So how these influences us? Due to the globalization. Now globalization is what? The movement of people and goods, that is globalization. So when a, a man moves to another place or another country, they also bring their culture, their their dressing sense, their food habits to the that country where they are going, and through that exchange of culture, exchange of uh, dresses, exchange of ideas are happening, and that's why they also influence the society. So society is dynamic and continuously changing due to the globalization. Similarly, urbanization, migration, people are migrating from one area to another area, and they bring their uh, festivals. For example, in Delhi, now people are celebrating Chhat Puja. That is, Chhat Puja is primarily a festival of the UP and Bihar belt. But now people are celebrating because people are migrating from UP and Bihar to the Delhi, and they also celebrated. And now people are, the whole Delhi population, majority of the population is celebrating the festival of Chhat Puja of Bihar and UP. So that's why I'm saying the society is dynamic, society is continuously changing. Why? Due to the globalization, urbanization, migration, and technology also. Okay. But despite that society is dynamics, despite that society is continuously evolving, changing, the basic purpose of society is what? That is organizing human life, and that the basic purpose remains the same. Okay, so its basic purpose remains organizing human life into a cohesive, predictable, and sustainable unit that remains same. Okay, now the next in this topic will be the next heading will be what kind of society is India? India is what kind of society that we will going to discuss. Okay, we are not discussing about the salient features of Indian democracy, Indian society. Okay, we are just understanding the basic concept. Okay, so what kind of society is India? See, India is one of the oldest living civilization in the world with a continuous cultural history of more than 5,000 plus years. Everybody knows that we have a long history from Vedic, from Indus Valley civilization to Vedic civilization, then Mahajanpada era, then medieval period, then modern, and now current. So the whole the customs and culture till date is preserved, and till date followed. So we have a long history. We have a continuous cultural history of more than 5,000 years. That is the one thing. Okay, the most important thing. Second, Indian society is characterized by enormous diversity. Enormous diversity in terms of what? Language. We have a more than 1,000 languages. Religion, more than 10 religion are thriving in Indian societies. In Indian India, okay, they are practiced in India. We have a more than 1,000 caste. We have more than 750 tribes. We have a lot of custom, traditions, culture. So despite having enormous diversity, we are united as a single entity, as an Indian. Okay, so Indian society is characterized by enormous diversity in language, religion, caste, tribe, custom, traditions, and culture. But what is the uniqueness of Indian society? Uniqueness is that despite having enormous diversity, we are able to preserve unity. Okay, that is the uniqueness of Indian society. We are till date we are united. So that means that we have the ability to preserve our unity. Okay, throughout history, if we see, India has absorbed external influences while preserving its own cultural identity, making it a pluralistic and composite civilization. For example, we have seen that in our ancient and medieval era, we have faced a lot of invasion. For example, Greek invasion, Persian invasion, then Turkish invasion. Many invaders came to India and settled also. Okay, for example, Indo-Greeks. So in that, we have also incorporated their culture into our Indian culture while preserving our own cultural identity. We have not lost our own cultural. We have not lose our own cultural identity. But actually, did we absorb the external influences while preserving our own cultural identity, and that makes India a pluralistic and composite civilization. Okay, so preserving cultural identity, a pluralistic and composite civilization. Okay, now the question will be. Why India is united despite having a lot of diversity? There are many reasons to to get fragmented into different parts. India can be fragmented, but why we are united? So the core basic answer or basic reason is our philosophical foundation. If we go through our philosophical text and philosophical yes scriptures, we have the principle of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the idea of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that is the whole world is one family, and that idea promotes a sense of brotherhood, feeling of brotherhood. Okay, and that's why we are united. Okay, so the idea of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam emphasizes that the whole world is one family. The first philosophical foundation. Second thing is that from the Jainism, we have we know that Anekantwad, the principle of what? Anekantwad, doctrine of Anekantwad, that tells what? The truth has many multiple perspective. Okay, that means, for example, you can perceive or you can see a truth in your perspective. I can see truth in my perspective. Okay, so that promotes what? A sense of tolerance, a sense of acceptance. You may be true, I may be true. Okay, so that feeling, the Anikantwad doctrine, also imbibed in our own culture, Indian culture, that makes India united through a feeling of sense of tolerance among the Indians, and it promotes tolerance and peaceful coexistence. So Anikantwad teaches that the truth has multiple perspective and promote tolerance and peaceful coexistence. Okay. Now the third principle, the philosophical principle that makes India united, that is the Sarvadharm Sambhav. This principle, it talks about that we should respect, equally respect all religion. Okay, and that strengthens religious harmony. Okay, so Sarvadharm Sambhav promotes equal respect and for all religion and strengthen religious harmony. So these are the reasons, these are the philosophical foundations that makes us united. Okay, now and also see we have a mini India. For example, metropolitan cities, if we go in metropolitan cities such as Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Pune, Kolkata, they represent mini India, where people belonging to different regions, religion and culture live and work together. That also make us united. Okay, next thing is the institutions such as Bollywood, IPL, education institutions. They also further strengthen our national integration and cultural exchange. Sports play a major role. For example, when India plays a World Cup match, then whole country is united. We all cheers for India. Not we are not saying that we are from Delhi or we are from South India, we are from North India. We are not saying. So that is the most important thing that also promotes or makes us united. Okay. Now how to manage diversity. There are intellectuals provides many models. Some, for example, there is a model of salad bowl model. In that, what happens? This is a bowl in which we kept fruits or salads, different types of salads. So this model says that the people, for example, it is a country and different people from different culture are coexisted. Okay, they live together. Okay, so the salad bowl model allows different cultures to coexist while preserving their distinct identity. They say when we put a salad in a bowl, different salad, they do not get mixed. Okay, they are having a different, their distinct identity, but they are existing coexisted. Okay, they are coexisting. So that is the salad bowl model. Okay, for example, in America, we can say that this type of thing is there. Then second model is melting pot model, where what happens actually different cultures come together and form one common identity. Okay, that is the melting pot model. Okay, and third, India follows a mosaic model. This is the most important. We do not follow salad bowl model or melting pot model. We follow a different model, that is mosaic model, in which different communities preserve their own identity while contributing to one complete national identity. We have a different communities, they preserve their own identity. Okay, while they also contribute to one composite national identity. Yes, I am for example, I am Hindu, that is my own identity. I will preserve that, but ultimately I will what? I will Indian. I am Indian. Okay. That is the mosaic model. Okay. So unity in diversity. Okay. Now, now the most important thing now comes in our mind is diversity has any role in marginalization of section of society. For example, our society has uh, at all we can it's unfortunate that we are divided into caste, and due to that what happens actually, there are lots of people are marginalized. Okay, they feel discriminated. For example, diversity itself does not lead to marginalization. Okay, rather, marginalization results from historical discrimination, poverty, social exclusion, and unequal access to opportunity. So, diversity, yes, diversity may have a some sense of role in marginalization, but it is not one reason that led to the marginalization, because marginalization result from historical discrimination, poverty, social exclusion. There are lots of factors. Okay, so diversity is our strength, inclusion is our commitment. Okay, from exclusion we have to go towards inclusion. Okay, then many scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, and Adivasis continue to face socioeconomic disadvantages. Why? Despite constitutional safeguards. So why? Because they are not, they are historically discriminated. They are facing, they are poor. They are socially excluded. So that is the thing. Okay. So what we can do? We should promote education. We should provide them a better facility of healthcare facility. We should give them employment that will make them to be a part of mainline main streamline. Okay. Now commitment. Communities such as Parsis and Jains, they also demonstrate that minority status does not necessarily result in marginalization. For example, many intellectuals say that they are minority and that's why they are marginalized. Okay, but this is not true. See, Parsi community, they are also minority. Jain community, they are also minority, but they shows that what they have achieved high level of education and economic development. So it is not that they are minority, they are having a different religion, that's why they are marginalized. That is not totally true. So this is the whole thing. This is a first class, and in the future lectures we will discuss all the other parts of the section society. Okay, thank you.